Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I offer in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player. Good afternoon, everyone. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metals market update for this Tuesday, the 7th of March, 2017, about 2:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. This morning I was on TV on Bloomberg at about 9:10 in the morning. In fact, they've decided they're going to give me a slot, a regular rotation slot on it, and they were asking me about gold, and I said I thought the gold market was going to head back down to the 100-day average to try to figure out what to do from there. In silver, I said it wouldn't surprise me if it first goes to the lower Bollinger Band and then down its 100-day average is closer to 1735. The reasons why were asked, and I said strong dollar, number one. And I think that's what you have to understand is really going on. We have a situation where North Korea fired off they fired 5 ballistic missiles, 4 launched. 1 did not, according to the reports. Gold should rally on that news. We're deploying today. We moved in equipment for the THAAD system. No rally off of that. China retaliated when they heard this. They're going to retaliate in a like manner, blah, blah, blah. Gold can't rally. That's because you're looking at a difference in the monetary policy, in my opinion, taking a change. The Fed is starting to march out possibly ahead of Donald Trump. What does that mean? Well, when Mr. Trump took office January 20th, he was able to get a bunch of rashes of executive orders done. Good news, he was coming through on his promises. Today he comes through on a promise again, and he comes in with a plan to attack, maybe take down Obamacare. Like it or not, he's doing what he said he would do. But all that now gets mired down in Congress. The executive actions are, for the most part, over. Now he's got to deal with Congress. So that makes the Fed, I think, come in front of him. And the Fed, next week on the 15th, they have their FOMC meeting. They're expected to raise interest rates. Well, the dollar doesn't have to rally. It's just looking at a strong situation. That's holding back the gold because 1 rally will lead to 2, and the Fed said is possibly 3. Just give you an idea of what the talk is on the street. As we look at a weekly gold chart, you finally have taken out 12-17-30. So this bull pattern that we had was unable to carry up to the Bollinger Band. It's going to start really chasing the market lower. The market's now got support between 1202.90 and 1195. The combination of the green line, which is the 100-week moving average of closes, said that wrong, and the 100 and the 18-week right over it in the red. Got it? Those are where the support zones are. When you look at current thrust, you can't get away from now 1264.90. It's going to finish today at 1216.10. How do I know? I cheated. I already knew the settlement price from 12:30 Central Time. So that will be the settlement price. You're in a down thrust. And you can see that down thrust as you head to the daily bar chart. There's nothing bullish on this chart at this point. You now have the pattern of lower highs, lower lows. Bearish until 1237.30 is taken out, which would break that particular pattern. In addition, you're under the 18-day average, and what I thought would hold the market, or a zone, is the 100-day average. We're about there. Let's assume the 100-day average gives ground. I then look to see where the Bollinger Band is at 1214. So I can surmise that we're in an important area of gold here for the market to try to hold. If it decides to let go from here, what will happen is your Bollinger Band is going to bend over and start running to the downside. The good news is you've got 2 support zones if you're a bull on gold and you're in an oversold market. The bad news is you're in a downtrend. That's basically where it's at. I do think, by the way, the pros were lifting shorts today in that market. In the gold ETF, take a look at the low, 115.61. You got down to the lower Bollinger Band. 115.64 is the 100-day average, and the market is holding in that general zone. So like it or not, these numbers have some validity, at least for today, with lower highs, lower lows into support, and again, an oversold market. The gold miners are the real bearish part of this. Look at how they just keep running on this band, and they get perfect because they just move enough to the right-hand side to say, you're not getting all that succession under the lower Bollinger Band, since only 5% of the time you go with it. But hand in hand, it's got the embedded reading, and that's just terrible news for that. Yes, you'll get a bounce eventually. When you get the bounce, where do you think your first resistance point might come in? I would say the 100-day average, and if that gave ground, maybe back to the 18. But until that occurs, what do you have? You got an out-and-out bear market that is very powerful. Silver has given up its leadership, if you will, of holding stronger. Gold is now acting better than silver. And that began as we come back right here, this number. When we got to last Tuesday and then turned back up, that did the game in by Thursday. And so you're in an upthrust in the market, and now you're just waiting to see where it encounters resistance. I'm going to guess the first area is right up in this zone. We'll see what happens. Silver on its own, down to the lower Bollinger Band in a bear trend, lower highs, lower lows, under the 18-day average. Next support, and that's why I mentioned 1735, could be the 100-day moving average of closes, and like gold, oversold. The silver ETF, notice the lower Bollinger Band, 1656. That's where you're at, 1655, right there. So these numbers, other traders are looking at them, and that's the importance of you learning to look at them. If you go through this, though, you might be headed to that 100-day average. Again, I'm going to say that when you get down to Bollinger Bands and you're oversold, it doesn't surprise me if the pros take some money off the table. Copper's the same. I don't know where this is going because it's not trendy. You got a higher high and a lower low. You're very oversold, and you're at the lower Bollinger Band all of a sudden. And this is a market that's had, in bull news, the Escondida mine strike is still going. You still have the Grasberg situation in Indonesia going. There's another huge mine in Peru that is talking of going out on strike. And yet, into the LME warehouses, the two largest moves, Monday and yesterday, of copper, a third of the size of the copper came in out of left field. That's not bullish news when you're putting it in the warehouses. In the platinum market, the market's got lower highs, lower lows, challenged the 100-day average, oversold. Not saying it can't go lower, but when you're under that Bollinger Band, you're into that 5% category where it can come down further. And here's a surprise. Do you realize if you were to take out 778, let's call it 60, in this market, not the 18-day average, the high of this day, you could actually get a buy signal that could project here to the 791. Why? Because you'd all of a sudden have higher lows and higher highs. So what do the bears do? They have to defend it right here to not let that happen. Momentum was going down. It's gone flattish. We'll have to see what goes on. There's another part you can get chopped up on this trade from. Let me show you this. Notice how narrow the Bollinger Bands are suddenly getting. Whenever that occurs, you got to be a bit careful because you can just like a ping pong bounce back and forth right in that. In the March dollar index, you still have the pattern of higher lows, higher highs, next resistance if it wants to go to it, upper Bollinger Band 102.05. But this market refuses to embed, absolutely refusing, and just staying overbought. I think it's not ready to run to the upside basis, what I've learned over the years when you see that. Doesn't mean I'm right, by the way. Believe me, if you could look at me really good, I'm like Swiss cheese. I have holes from all the trades that I've been wrong, not right on. But guess what? I'm still here for a reason. When they're right, they seem to take care of what's wrong. The key is money management. The key is theory. The key is learning, and that brings me right here to Modern Trader. You're free. 1-year subscription, $79.95 if you go to them, free from us. You're going to get this in an email, Trading the True Range, the Platinum Gold Spread, Footprint Protocols, Trading Currencies, Winter Minnesota Freeze. Articles look like this with great, and I use the word great graphics all through it. You learn. Do you know I still have my first issues? I'm friends with the publishers, the editors there, and we went back to do some special PDFs for you. I still had my original issues. I think I got the first ones done. So it's fascinating, because I go back to them on a regular basis. It's a library. So you're going to see these. You're going to love how they come to you. It's easy to read. It's great to learn with. You're going to deal with chart patterns, trading stock, the trading calendars, cycles, all these different parts for ETF stocks, the futures. How do you get it? That's the easy part. You call us on the phone, at 866-973-2077. Our website's been just rolling across your screen, www.iraepstein.com. You'll also get Market Focus daily from them, so it's not only once a month. And you'll see our carousel of free offers on our website. Choose what you want from there. If you're watching me on YouTube, it's right up here. Just click on that icon. Everything will pop up for the forums. And under us on a number of websites, it's right there. Again, the April issue is out. Get yourself set up for this. You're going to love it. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day.